They're like different sizes too. This is reminding me of, you guys, have you ever heard of the Nguoi Rung?
Nope.
Oh.
The Nguoi Rung.
Yeah, JR. He's definitely one of those.
He's Nguoi Rung?
Yeah, I never knew how to pronounce it. That's how you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I always felt like a complete racist. I slaughtered that thing the first time I tried it.
No, yeah, it's a tough word to pronounce for sure. It's Vietnamese, or I guess Southeast Asian in origin. Laos. Thank you. Vietnam, Cambodia, even into Borneo. And I guess what distinguishes this particular Sasquatch from the other ones is that they do vary in size. They've sightings, and we'll get into the specifics later, but there have been sightings from even 3 to 4 feet tall up to 7.
Whoa.
How do you spell this again?
You spell this Nguoi space RUNG.
And it's Nguoi Rung?
Nguoi Rung.
In the Bigfoot community, we just call them Allfoot. They're the Allfoot.
Allfoot, right.
All shapes and sizes.
That's beautiful.
That's
actually
really lovely.
I love
your philosophy.
Very
I appreciate
open-minded.
that.
Right.
I guess more colloquial language, they're known as the Batutut.
Well, that's way cuter. That's way
Right?
cuter.
So we're going to go with Batutut.
Batutut.
I love it.
How do you
I like
spell
saying
that?
that. Batutut. Or the Ujit.
Sounds more like, oh shit.
Oh, jeez! There's a bunch of little hairy men in the bush!
Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. Holy shit. So, as stated, they vary in size, and sightings have been going on in the region since essentially recorded history. It's a similar theme in that there was a resurgence of interest in these particular cryptids or hominids, depending upon how you want to look at it, in the, I guess, 70s and 80s, when, you know, certain boys would be scared of certain goats out in the valley.
Fucking son of a bitch, dude.
Always taking swipes.
I will drown you in this lagoon right now.
Hashtag roasted.
Thank you. How do you know about hashtags?
I use a computer. What do you think? I
Shit.
I
I'm sorry.
all
No,
of
dude,
these
that
lagoons.
was ignorance on my part.
Kaz.
I
What does the
apologize.
keyboard
Carl.
look like?
Wow.
It's got to be a
Carl,
giant,
that was my
massive-
fault. Dude, this is a learning experience for me right now. Learning moment. I apologize.
I'm learning about that. I've always wondered why all my guys, all of JR's crew, they have these T-shirts they wear that says Batutut Crew 4, the number 4, life.
It's probably because they're all part of the Batutut group.
Now I know. Nope.
They all hang together. They're so
Batutut crew?
Batutut crew.
Batutut crew. Batutut crew.
Batutut Crew 4, the number 4, life.
Is life spelled out?
Yes.
They could get away with
No Y, just no
the
Y.
4L.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's their club.
Yeah, right.
Did he ever ask you to join?
So, you know, it doesn't really work in the microcosm of middle management. You know,
I guess
That's true.
small
You can't
business.
fraternize with the
work thing.
with the
It's a
low
work
level
thing.
employees. It
It
makes
helps
sense.
to boost morality and cooperation of the workers to rally against the authority.
So the resurgence of the sightings sort of coincided with, I guess, the world's fascination with the Sasquatch and the Bigfoot cryptid. In the 70s and 80s, there was actually a request by the Vietnamese general Quang Minh Thao to basically get funding for an expedition to go to a remote village in Vietnam where some local villagers had claimed to have captured 2 of the Batututs and were willing to submit them for, I guess, scientific review.
So this is in the 1970s?
Correct, 1974.
Wow.
And he was granted this funding from the military. And again, not to like put too fine a point on it, this was the military that was able to successfully repel United States during
Of Vietnam.
during the Vietnam War. So, you know, I wouldn't call it necessarily an inept group of people. And they gave this guy funding. And okay, so and this does kind of like fly in the face of that. The expedition was a failure. They weren't able to get to the village because of the remote, sort of dense nature of the jungle that they had to get through. But for me, the more sticking point there is this is like the Vietnamese army a general says, "Hey, we got to go to this village and get this Bigfoot, these two big feet, and
big feet,
Sasquatches." And
it's like deer, just Sasquatch.
Just Sasquatch.
And I mean, I don't know how, like, I'm not extremely familiar, but my parents were in the military my whole life. I don't know how, like, familiar you guys were with trying to get, like, requisites, like, forms and stuff through, like, the bureaucracy of the military. But this guy was able to submit a piece of paper that said, "I'm going to get Bigfoot, give me money." And it went through all channels to the end where someone signed a check and said, yes, give him as much money as he needs to go get the Bigfoot, which wasn't enough.
But remember, I just signed off for some crap that I had no authority
well,
to do.
You are
so
also...
maybe that's going on over there, too.
That's true.
Maybe people were just like, hey, man, is that a form? I'll sign that shit right now.
Was it something like this? Hey, if we got rid of that Bigfoot in the jungle, what been killing all of our troops, we can probably win this war quicker. And the general's like, I like the gumption. Get it done. Was it like something like?
I feel like it was. I feel like it was more like a.
He just bullshitted his way in. 2 weeks later, did you get it? No, that jungle, man, that's
damnedest thing. Trees, vines, everywhere. Couldn't get anywhere. It was bullshit. So there was another piece of evidence left behind by the Nguoi Rung or the Batutut, and it came in the form of some footprints. As your classic Bigfoot tale has, there were large, extremely large feet prints that looked man sort of shaped and sized with the appropriate number of toes and things like that. But I think the interesting thing came from these were specimens collected by a research professor from the University of Hanoi who was in the area to do sort of a survey of natural resources that he was there to collect. He was there on like other business. He was there to. I'm not sure, they don't really specify the exact nature of the experiment, but he was there to collect data on this and came across these prints, made a cast, and sent them back, and that's how we know of them.
Speaking casually, as a landscape architect, is it possible that this guy was just a rip-off artist? Because JR has been known to use his footprints as a maker's mark on the work that he does for, say, his Infinity Lagoons.
Oh, that would be amazing looking. Oh.
So perhaps the science guy was just removing the footprints as, quote, evidence and trying to pawn off the work of some hardworking Batutut as his own.
Well, if you happen to know the exact maker's mark of your buddy JR, the pictures of this footprint have been posted in the 14 News of the World publication, which is now known apparently as the Japan 14 Information Society. Well, and I'd also like to know is there a unique sort of printing on the bottom of your feet that allows you to know that this is JR and not a similarly sized Batutut?
Oh yeah. Every Batutut's got a different foot. Yeah, his is he's known to wear those old school Jordans, but big.
but they're small. But they're big.
Yeah.
So
so again, they range in size, and as do Jordans.
Okay, that's right. That's true.
Right.
What size does this Batutut wear?
74.
74.
Well,
wow,
that's pretty big. That's like bigger. Like you could fit a bunch of shacks in there, like with a Q, not with a K.
Doesn't ring any bells.
Basketball player, little smaller than you.
No. 80s?
More 90s.
Karl Malone?
No.
No, doesn't. No, don't know. Utah Jazz.
Who was the other guy? John Stockton, Karl Malone.
He was the Portland Trailblazers. John Stockton.
That was Clyde Drexler.
They were a team, didn't they? Right.
Carl Winslow. You do know that Vancouver now has a team, right?
You're shitting me.
One of the more recent exposures to the Batutut was actually on the Sci-Fi Channel's Destination Truth show.
That's a good show.
Starring Josh Gates. Hashtag Josh Gates. He and his team traveled to Vietnam in search of the Batutut. He interviews local primatologists and examines the casting of the original footprint taken, and actually ventures into the Cái Bang National Park and finds himself several large human-like footprints.
Really?
Makes castings of them, sent back to U.S. noted Bigfoot researcher and anthropologist Jeffrey Meldrum.
He's the best.
He's a fantastic guy.
Big fan of his work.
He makes good tea, too, right? Like, you ever had his tea?
No.
Fantastic tea.
I didn't know he was a teologist.
Jeffrey Meldrum called this print a significant discovery and one of the best pieces of evidence he has ever seen. And I would say to Jeffrey Meldrum, come on out to the Infinity Lagoon, because there's like 7 of them. There's like 3 right there. There's 4 on the other
like a whole
end.
Team of them.
They all got the T-shirts on. It's like a family reunion or something.
Gorgeous.
We're surrounded.
Hey, JR, tell your guys to get back to work.